Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Of course, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and joining that cause, we have with us Payless Shoesource and also Vitas House in the form of Bilquis Ali, who is group leader of the Trinidad and Tobago Payless Shoesource, and Christiane Steele Hadid, board secretary of the Vitas House Hospice. Good morning to both of you and welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with us so early this morning. We appreciate it, that is for sure. Let's jump straight into the conversation. The relationship between Vitas House and Payless. How did it start? Bilquis?
Well, we would have started supporting the breast cancer awareness since 2008, so that's 16 years. And in those 16 years, we have been supporting the Vitas House. We like to raise awareness as a corporate company, and this is where we give back to society by supporting the Vitas House, because we are very happy to see that the service that is being done by them, giving back, and how they treat their patients, you know, it was really heartwarming when we saw what is happening there.
Oh, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Christiane. Let's bring you straight into the conversation. Vitas House is a name that many know and are familiar with, but may not necessarily know the inner workings. So can you give us some background into Vitas House?
So Vitas House is a hospice for terminally ill cancer patients. It actually was started in 2008, 16 years ago. It was a dream of Dr. George Lakis. He was chairman emeritus of TTCS, and Pat Stallmeyer, who is a palliative nurse. And they really wanted to create somewhere that complemented the TTCS and what they did. And it's a place where patients who have exhausted all medical treatments at that point and in the late stages can go somewhere where they can get that support and care. So it's honestly, it's a really beautiful thing, and it's very near and dear to all of us who work there. Because, I mean, a lot of the time you may think, you know, that in those, or most of the time, I guess, people focus on the other areas of cancer. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, that is still a really important part as well, the late stages. And it is a place where, I mean, we like to say, where it's death with dignity. Yeah.
Very moving there, death with dignity. Bilquis, let's bring you back into the conversation. Of course, breast cancer awareness is something that Payless Shoesource has been supporting for a long time, but you did mention that there was an interest in Vitas House Hospice and the work that they did. Was there anything in particular, aside from that, that would have led to Vitas House? And have you always chosen it, or are there other areas that are chosen as well?
We have always worked with the Vitas House since inception, as Christiane said, in 2008. Back then, I think they would have reached out, and with, again, giving back, corporate companies do give back, and we see it very fitting to give back to society by supporting the cancer awareness. And as Christiane said, again, it's the last stages of, you know, the cancer patients, and this is where we saw what was happening and the care to give these patients and what is required, what is needed. So, you know, that was near and dear to our heart as well as a company.
Now, as a company as well, of course, you are doing your part by selling some items. What items are being sold this October?
So this year, every year we have a different accessory. I brought one with us. This year we have our keychains with the pink ribbon, which is synonymous with the breast cancer awareness. And it has a coupon that comes with it as well for 20% off, and this is valid between November 1st and November 16th. So the purchase of, it's $20 for one of these keychains. Part proceeds will go to the Vitas House, and plus the customer also gets something back in return by using this coupon to get a 20% discount.
And also a beautiful keychain as well.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous, the pink ribbon. So please come out and support the cause.
I also see the hashtag I tie myself. Will there be a digital campaign to align with this?
We do not have a digital campaign currently, but what we do have is we have posters in stores that's showing that we support the cause.
So supporting the cause, of course, everybody receives something, and some of the funds go to the hospice itself.
Yes.
Now, in general, though, when it comes to the daily runnings of the hospice, how are funds accrued?
Okay, so it's really done by gracious corporations and donations. So Vitas House is completely free. All of the services provided, the medical and the nursing, it's all free. So how you would get to come in is that there's a form that you fill out, and then that it has to be filled out by a physician, and then it will be assessed by the medical staff, and they will decide, if it's if that patient can be, brought in or not. So, but to do with the donations and the corporations, it's really, really important because that is where all of the funding comes from. The wonderful corporations like Payless Shoesource, who, at the end of the day, I mean, that was the formal side, but really and truly, when it comes down to Vita's House, and the whole reason that we do what we do is because, it's really hard for people to watch their loved ones be ill. And it's really hard to then have to even think about handing over that responsibility of caring for them, either because you can't or because, it's very expensive to hand over that to somewhere else or to someone else, And the whole premise of it is that we try to make that transition really easy for families because it's the patient and their family. And it's a place where they will get the medical attention and the palliative care that they need, but it's a place where there's somebody to hold your hand.
Yeah.
A place where there's somebody to comfort you and your family and just, support you in those end stages, which is really, really important. Funny enough, the theme for breast cancer this year is that nobody should have to go through breast cancer alone. And that really is why it's all community-based, right? So I think that's why it's really important for corporations to get involved because we are one community and cancer touches all of us in one way or another, unfortunately. From the beginning stages, which is, when you get checked and you do your screenings and you find out, until hopefully remission and recovery, but then sometimes it ends and it comes down to the end of life care, which is what Vita's House offers. And we try to do it, like I said, death with dignity and making sure that it's a place where people still feel comforted to leave their family members and to come and, be with them.
Yeah, something that is very important when you are transitioning in that particular stage of life. And this is, again, why funding is so important as well. As you mentioned, it comes from the donations, the goodwill of others as well, which keeps our community
and
going.
Also past patients, families that have gone on. They, a lot of the time, because they're so grateful and they've had such a good experience that they feel, compelled to give back as well.
Very moving conversation this morning. So, hats off to you and your entire team. Hats off to Payless as well for ensuring that there is that way of giving back and also including the community, which is very important for those who may not necessarily have that access or reach, let's say, to get to Vita's House. So where can we purchase this keychain, Bilquis?
So we have 23 branches throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So they are available at all our branches. If anyone needs to know where our branches are located, we are easily found on the internet. We have the Google attached to us, so you can find our locations easily. So you can visit any one of us. So we're located from Port of Spain right down to Rio Claro, Siparia, Point Fortin.
Very accessible.
Very accessible all throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Christian, for those who are interested in getting in touch with Vita's House, how can we?
So Vita's House is located on the St. James Medical Complex. It's at the back of it. And then you can also go onto our website and you can also go to you can call as well, so that you can get access. I know that they're working on being able to, or maybe it's already been done, being able to access the form online as well.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Christian Steele Hadid and Bilquis Ali. Thank you for joining us this morning and hoping that we see many go out and purchase these beautiful keychains for a great cause. Stay tuned. The Now Morning Show is going to be back right after this break.